Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me for some more TDI stuff. Today I'm going to be showing you how to begin your mTDI journey by breaking down a AHU TDI pump with the 10mm head, as well as a 1.6 turbodiesel injection pump. And once you have all these buggers apart, you should have everything you need to get started on an mTDI pump build. Enjoy!
First thing we're going to do is grab one of these tiny 7.5 3-points. It should come with the specialty tools kit. Alright, that's all the fasteners. There's also one here, don't forget that. So this rotates. I don't know if you can see down in there, but as that rotates, it moves the collar, and that's what relieves our pressure in there. Alright, let's get all this extra bull crap off, starting with a 5/16. Might be an 8mm, I don't remember. We're taking the solenoid off, getting all the electronic garbage off first. Not too good for this, are ya? That's what I thought. There's this bracket. Now we gotta pull this plug off. Not gonna lie, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's got something to do with timing advance, and it's electronic, so we don't need it. Off it comes. Can't leak into that. Who's a good boy? And we'll tighten this one back down for the unscrewing. Now it's time for that 3.26mm, another lovely specialty tool. Looks like we left an O-ring in there. The whole thing is in bottom dead center. And now I'm going to measure the K dimension, which, like I said before, is between the centerpiece and then this shiny little ring right out there. Alright, that was 3.95. Now we're slowly going to ease this head off bit by bit, because there are springs down there, and even though it shouldn't explode, you know, we don't want it to go flying off. Alright, it was a good idea to keep those in. Didn't really launch, but it would have jumped. And this whole head and plunger assembly is probably going to come out. Plunger wants to stay. Alright, that's fine. Just going to be very careful with this, hauling it out. Whee! I went ahead and I rotated the cam plate so that this little dowel is pointing on the 12 o'clock position on the pump. And you should note that this little dowel also corresponds with the keyway on the front of the pump, so those two should match. Now I'm just going to grab my K-shim. K-shim. Very good. Now the whole cam plate. This is different on the TDIs, this little drive gear. This is just about all we need from the main body. For my own benefit, I want to pull a roller. I know these are usually not messed with in this case, but I just want to be sure, because when I put it in its bin, it's going to explode. All the rollers are going to go everywhere. All right, so there we go. We got our roller. There's a washer that points out. Oh, there's a direction to it. It's got this little plus on it. That goes on the inside. Okay, now it's time to pull the advance assembly off. I'm going to start with this flat plate. I note that this is different from the mechanical pumps. The other ones only had like 2 bolts. This one's got the 4. Oh, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, moron. Now I just want to loosen these, because when we take the other side of the pump off, it's going to be spring loaded. So I want to relieve as much as the spring on this side as we can. Really should have given this thing a bath, shouldn't I? there's that washer. It looks like this has an orientation too. This isn't quite, not quite symmetrical. So this little lip looks like that was facing up. You can see it right there. And here comes our spring. Out she goes. And inside there is another washer where I just saw where it went. Now we're taking off this black retaining clip. There it is. Now pulling this little pin inside of it. There we go. Put that somewhere safe. Grab that. Shove it towards the middle. There we go. Okay, let's shove this thing on out. And keep your finger underneath it because it's got this little piece right here that'll try to drop out if you let it. Keep those together, and that is everything I want out of this pump. This one is the 1.6 TD, and like all the other ones, we're going to immediately start by ripping off this top part, seeing what we can get to down here, and taking apart the accessories. Maybe. Once again, not adjusting anything, no smoke screw, no nothing. And under here is going to be the LDA diaphragm, which is called boost aneroid. All right, looks like it's all coming up. There we go. Here we go, there's the aneroid. This is actually what pushes our little boost pin in and out. I want to mark this. Okay, there's a little dot in here already. Always use that when you can. And that points to this corner. We're gonna pop this lever off. We're going to score it. Okay, it's got quite a mess of springs under it. Got a plastic spacer under it. One coil spring. Looks like there is another coil spring under here. There we go. It was in this orientation. This hook was here. And we got a spacer. Okay, let's get this throttle bracket off. I got this last fastener out. It's quite a pain with the big old aneroid in place. Coming up. Might have tapped this thing down. Now we just have this stinker, the little governor. And this should come off. There we go. You can just twist it to its side. It's got a flat end. Now it's time to pull the governor stuff off. Got our 5mm right here. And get this on the jam nut. Try to keep that Allen key stationary. And out comes washer and a nut. That nut's 14mm, don't know if I mentioned that. Let's check our shaft protrusion. Just full of that's what she says today. Call it 7.65, that looks about right. You could also count the number of turns it's in there. 1, 2, 3, 14. It's gonna be close now. 15, 16 turns. Now it's time to pull the governor flyweights off. Be careful, there's a little shim right here too. Okay, there we go. Governor and flyweights, this could use a good cleaning. And we also have a couple of shims, governor shims. Here is a round one. This goes on the flyweight side. And then there is this square one with a little angle cut in it. That goes closer to the front of the pump. Well, things aren't looking super great in this pump. Mostly just dirty, a little bit sticky, and it's got no diesel in it. So, I don't know. I'm probably gonna find that's terrible for it, but I really would like to get this metering sleeve free. Oh, this pump, it had as a label on it saying like proudly rebuilt by whatever company. So I thought it would be a little nicer in there, but it's kind of sticky. All right, we just undid all these fasteners, so we're just gonna whoop, pop this up. This would have been for our cold start. Oh, I also want to point out for you and future me, the fasteners with the slimmer head go here and here, and the ones with the thicker heads go here and here. I don't know how important that is, but it's good to know. Now again, we're gonna measure our K dimension. That's between this ID and that shiny surface right there. 3.4. Once again, these are spring loaded. Not so spring loaded that it'll explode in your face, but spring loaded enough you want to ease it off each side. All right, it all decided to come. We got the head, the plunger, and look, even the springs came in with it. Man, these are gross. All right, let's pull the fulcrum lever out. This one is the 13 millimeter 3-point. There's our fulcrum lever. Okay, now let's pull off the K-shim. There it is. And then there's the cam plate. Once again, this knob right here corresponds to the keyway on the front of the pump. If you ever get it mixed up, because it is possible to install it totally backwards. Whoa, that's ugly. Whoa, that looks bad. Then we grab the spring. You'll note this wasn't on the TDI. And the drive gear. Grab all that. And that's everything we need in here. Everything we need. I might take it further apart because it's so gross just to pull it all out and clean it. Is this just being old, or is this biodiesel? I don't really know. All right, now it's time to pull off this cold start advance. We're not going to be keeping this for the mTDI swap. That's cool, you can actually see it working in there. Move the lever, clicks the barrel and rollers over a teeny bit. That's what gets you your advance. But first we're gonna pull off this advance, same thing as we did before. And then the pin out in it. And then take the whole thing and shove it into the middle of this cage. Okay, that's out. You can tell because it actually rotates now. We're gonna loosen up this side. Just like the TDI, this advance is spring loaded. So we're just going to be creeping it out a little bit. You can see it pushing up against there. There you go, you can see what gets us our advance here. It's this little cam. Remember, there is a little washer in this housing, so try to keep it pointed up. There it is. And there's a spring in here too, as well as this piece. All right, that's as far as we got in here for the other pumps, but I think we're gonna have to get a little further in this one because all this stuff is so disgusting. And while I'm in here, you know, might as well clean it.
So there you have it. At this point, you should have all the components needed to build a basic mTDI pump. I should note that you could absolutely build something a lot meaner. The 10mm head built into the 1.6 is a kind of a basic pump, but It's made with components that are plentiful, so I suspect a lot of people are going to find themselves in this boat. Anyhow, I hope this video was informative. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.